Dear friends, welcome to another episode of The Informant. Today we're going to unveil how the Chinese government uses its vast surveillance apparatus to monitor the population, eliminate opposition, and ensure absolute control. Discover the secrets of this relentless surveillance system, the challenges it faces, and the potential consequences of a regime that watches every step of its citizens. If you haven't subscribed yet, make sure to click the subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss any updates. Over the past few decades, the Chinese government has built a high-tech surveillance system with impressive sophistication. This system utilizes facial recognition software, internet monitoring, and ubiquitous video cameras, creating a surveillance network that covers the entire country. For many, this resembles the surveillance state described in George Orwell's book, 1984. The effectiveness of this system was fully demonstrated in November 2022 during the national protests against COVID-19 lockdowns in China. Even with protesters taking care to hide their faces with masks and hats, the Chinese police used cell phone location data to track them down, resulting in the arrest of thousands of people. However, state surveillance in Beijing doesn't rely solely on technology. It heavily depends on an extensive offline organization made up of a true army of spies, agents, and informants. This apparatus is fundamental to the regime's survival. Without this network, the advanced technological system simply wouldn't work. The Chinese Communist Party's state security system has worked very well for the party, but as the country faces unprecedented economic difficulties, this apparatus is under new pressures and tensions. The rulers may find it difficult not only to maintain their technological dominance, but also to ensure the continued involvement of these civilian informants, who are the lifeblood of this surveillance regime. China has two main intelligence and espionage agencies, both linked to ministries. The Ministry of State Security, MSS, is responsible for external espionage and internal counterintelligence, but it doesn't spy on Chinese citizens unless they are suspected of having foreign connections. The second agency, the Political Security Protection Unit within the Ministry of Public Security, MPS, is responsible for domestic surveillance. The MPS includes specialized units as well as frontline patrol officers. There is a clear division of labor between the MSS and the MPS, which recruit informants separately. Beijing does not disclose up-to-date information about the MSS, but a decade ago, it was revealed that the total number of uniformed police officers was around 2 million. Today, this number is likely higher due to the increased budget for internal security. It's estimated that Beijing spent approximately $202 billion on internal security in 2022, a sum nearly equivalent to the country's defense budget. These expenditures include regular police, the MSS, the People's Armed Police, courts, prosecutors, and prisons. This amount is likely to increase as China expands and upgrades its facial recognition programs, such as Skynet and Sharp Eyes. To avoid creating a secret police force powerful enough to threaten the regime itself, the Chinese Communist Party has distributed surveillance tasks among different units of the security forces and other state-affiliated entities, such as state-owned enterprises and universities. This prevents the concentration of power and allows the party to control surveillance more effectively, but it requires close coordination among all involved parties. To this end, the Communist Party maintains a political legal committee that oversees internal security at all levels of the state. Despite technological advancements, the organizational capabilities of the Communist Party are the true driving force behind the effectiveness of state surveillance in China. Organizational surveillance systems, based on spies and informants, began to be established long before the advent of advanced digital technologies and, to this day, continue to play a crucial role. In many universities, for example, each classroom has an informant who reports on students' activities. Although only about 40% of these informants are active, the fear that colleagues or neighbors might be spies discourages people from participating in activities or discussions that could put them in danger. The most common tactic used by both the MSS and the MPS is what the party calls controlling battlefield positions, which involves the on-site monitoring of critical public places such as airports, train stations, and hotels, as well as social institutions like universities and Tibetan monasteries. This on-site surveillance is complemented by technology, but it still plays a secondary role. In addition, the party also intimidates individuals it considers key, such as members of banned cults, protesters, and even drug users, often conducting home inspections to check the whereabouts of these people and dissuade them from participating in undesirable activities. However, China's surveillance state faces significant challenges. Budget constraints limit the Communist Party's ability to maintain a large internal security force. The number of informants and spies is insufficient to cover China's vast population, and growing public discontent may further hinder the recruitment of new informants. Furthermore, a prolonged economic crisis could reduce the resources available to maintain and upgrade the sophisticated technological surveillance system. If surveillance begins to fail, the Chinese Communist Party may resort to harsher measures to maintain control. A declining surveillance state could have serious implications for the Chinese rulers, who may opt to treat their citizens better in the hope of limiting protests or further increase repression against those they consider a threat to the regime. Either way, the future of China's surveillance system is directly linked to the country's ability to face its economic and social challenges in the coming years. If you value independent journalism and want to support our work, consider buying us a coffee through the QR code on the screen. Your contribution is essential for us to continue bringing quality analysis and information. Stay tuned for more updates, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for the latest analyses and insights on the world's most urgent geopolitical issues.